guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a 2-year review on my dad's first generation Santa Cruz Nomad. There's a lot I want to tell you guys about this bike, so let's get straight into it. I've been getting a lot of requests to make a 2-year bike check on my dad's first generation Santa Cruz Nomad. So here it is. This has been my dad's main bike for the past couple years and he loves it. For being an older bike, this thing can handle some pretty serious trails. Some of you may know that older bikes, especially 26-inch ones, has very different geometry from modern day bikes. Here you can see a little comparison chart I made. You can see on the left, the older Nomad, the one we have, has a much steeper head angle and a shorter top tube. The newest one has a significantly slacker head angle and a longer top tube. Even though the older one doesn't have the newest geometry, it rides great and can handle some pretty gnarly terrain. One thing I've been asked multiple questions about is how durable this bike is. Well, watch this. As you can see, this bike has been absolutely thrashed and has held up great. Not one thing is broken on it. The one thing we've had to deal with is the suspension. Okay, so about the suspension. When we first got it, the suspension wasn't really working right. It was really sucked up in its travel and it wasn't really very supple. It felt like you were just pushing on a sponge, so it wasn't super good. It took a while to mess around with the settings and get it to work right, but we did get it to work right. A couple things we had to do was, at least for the shock, we had to add about 25 psi in the rear shock, and he had his rebound set way slow. So a little tip, if your rebound is set super slow and your shock isn't feeling really stiff and spongy, the rebound's the reason why. So what we did is we turned the rebound all the way up and adjusted from there. So now we have it about in the middle setting and it feels super supple. As far as the fork goes, we can't get it working great. There's something wrong with the damper. So there's something wrong with the damper, so we can't get it to go full extension of the travel. So instead of 160 millimeters of travel on the front, it's only at about 140, which is kind of upsetting. We're gonna bring it into the shop soon to get that fixed up, so that'll be really nice. So yeah, I'm really stoked on how we have the suspension working, and we'll shoot back over to the voiceover. So have we changed or upgraded anything on it? Yes, we have. The biggest thing we did to it was change out the drivetrain. It used to have a Shimano Z drivetrain, which worked fine, but didn't exactly have the best range. The drivetrain we decided to replace it with is a SRAM NX 11-speed drivetrain. This has a better range than the Z, with a range of 42 teeth in the biggest cog and 11 tooth smallest cog. This cassette does use a Shimano HG driver, but SRAM does offer an 11-speed cassette that goes down to a 10-tooth cog. The only holdup on that cassette is that it uses a SRAM XD driver, and that kind of driver is not so common on lower end hubs. The only other thing we've changed is the grips, but that's pretty small. Overall, this bike has stayed relatively the same over the past couple years, and it has been holding up great. So, for some of you first-time viewers that haven't seen the previous bike check on this, when I first got it, there will be a link up in one of these corners for that video. You should go see it. But so little bit of context. It's a first generation Santa Cruz Nomad. It's a size medium 26. So like I said earlier, it feels a little small. But for my dad, it feels perfect for him. Another thing that's cool about it, that was an upgrade that the previous owner did, is he put these Mavic Crossmax SX wheels on it. Those are super nice. Hub sound coming up. There should be a timestamp down below. They're super beefy. The hubs and spokes are like the biggest things I've ever seen, and they're awesome. Highly recommend them. This bike has been handling great. We will put a dropper post on it soon. I'm thinking we might put either the Tag Metals dropper post or the Fox Transfer. One thing that's kind of a bummer is that because this bike is so old, it didn't come with internal dropper routing. So what we might do, because it's aluminum frame, don't try this at home, don't suggest it, don't do what I said, just a little disclaimer, is we might cut a little hole in the bottom of the seat tube so we can route a cable through it. Because it's aluminum, you can't do that. Don't do it with carbon. I'm not saying you should do it, but that's what I think we might do. If you guys like this video, it'd be great if you dropped a like and even subscribe. It's free and it helps the channel. A very small percentage of our viewers are actually subscribed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Okay, hub sound test. Here we go. Spin it up. Oh yeah, sounds awesome.